Crochet, aka. Let me start over. Welcome to Dudley's Crochet and Diamonds, aka Julia. Sorry, y'all. Don't bother about my hair. I've been trying to clean out that refrigerator this morning. I've had some problems, so hopefully I can finish cleaning it out after my live. I'm going to clean it out real good. There's some stuff that's been in there for a while. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out. It may not be bad, but where we've had to unplug the refrigerator, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out. And then I'm going to clean it real good with the cleaner. We're going to plug it back up. Hey, Levi. Hey, Sabbath. Yeah, I had some problems with my refrigerator. It's not self-defrosting, so I need to put a barrette right there. My hair's coming out. I've been trying to clean out my refrigerator this morning. So, it looked kind of rough. We've had to unplug it and let it sit there and defrost. And I'm cleaning out everything that's in there. I'm going to clean out the refrigerator real good. Then we're going to plug it back up this evening and see if it starts cooling again, which it should. It's done this before, so that way we can leave it plugged up all night and it should be cold when we go get our freezer stuff from his dad's. I didn't want to throw all the freezer stuff out because steaks and stuff cost quite a bit of money, so I didn't want to throw them out. So we had steaks and pork chops and beef liver up there. And I can't remember what all was up there, but there was quite a bit of stuff up there in the freezer. But we did take that up there last night with his dad's. What am I working on today? Today is I do Christmas Tuesday, so I'm working on the Nutcracker from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to get that glare out of there. Yeah, I think Lazy Retired Granny said something on her channel about she was on the fence about getting the Nutcracker. I believe that's the one she was talking about. So when I went yesterday, they had it. So I figured I'd get it and do it, and then Granny can see whether she likes it or not. So I believe that's the one she was talking about. Yeah, we put hot water in there. Well, it's not a self-defrosting one. We have to do it ourselves. So it's about 100-year-old. It's about 100-year-old refrigerator, so it don't defrost itself. We have to defrost it. And he had to stay with his daddy for a while, and he didn't want me to do it, but I do know how to do it. He just didn't want me to do it because he said it might be too hard on my back and stuff. So, and then he forgot to do it when his dad passed, and it's just been a long time since we've done it. But I like this refrigerator because it keeps everything really cold. So, yeah, we unplugged it. I unplugged it yesterday. I mean, it had big old things of ice up there where he spilt the ice trays when he's put them in. All that's already melted out. So, we've had it off since yesterday it's probably about 8:30 when I unplugged it. Usually when it gets like that, it takes about a day and a half. So I did go through there a while ago and took out everything that in the refrigerator part that I was going to throw away. And I took it out to the trash. And if y'all hear fire trucks or ambulances or anything, there is a fire over here on the street next to me. So y'all might hear it. I was out there throwing away all that stuff in the trash, and here come all these fire trucks racing by, and I tried listening to the scanner, but they didn't say too much about it. So I don't know how bad it is. And then my ex-mother-in-law, I guess she called while I was putting the trash out, and I didn't see that she had called. And then I was in there getting ready to get the other bag, because there was 2 bagfuls of stuff I threw away. So she called, wanted to know if I was okay. I said, yeah, it ain't for me. Just because an ambulance comes close to my house don't mean it's me. I said, but I'm okay. I said, I think there's a fire, because when I was out there, I seen one fire truck pull up and hook up to the hydrant, and he went speeding up the road. I think I know what house it is, though. It's the one that caught fire not too long ago, and the people are still living in it, and I don't see how they're still living there, so. But I thought I'd take a break on that refrigerator for about an hour and chat with all y'all lovely people. Because I did find containers in there that I forgot was in there full of food, and I got to empty that out and wash them. And then scrub the refrigerator real good. So, might take me the rest of the evening. It may not, though. Yeah, it is nice. But sometimes she can get on my nerves. She's an ex for a reason. Well, I don't know. She still says I'm her daughter-in-law. She don't like the girl that her son got with, so. But I do a lot for her. I just took her yesterday to the cable place, and she has to have injections put in her eyes, and her kids won't take her, so I take her. So, and she takes me out to eat and stuff when we do that. But she said she owes me a lot of money, which she does. Yeah, I know, Levi. I don't know. Timmy's mama never got on my nerves. So, yeah, Timmy's mom and dad, they were the best. But they're both gone now, so I miss them a lot. But that woman was really mean to me when I was married to her son. So, but I try to help people because that's what you're supposed to do. Who's Timmy? That's my fiance. Well, you might as well call him my husband. We've been together for 16 years. So, yeah, he had that. That's the first refrigerator he got when he moved in here. That's the only one he's had since he lived here. And he's lived in this house. Tomorrow will be 26 years. So, when I looked up, it's a Princess series from Whirlpool. When I looked it up, it said it come out in the 30s. So, it's been a good one, even if it don't work. But I believe it will, because it doesn't other time like this real bad when, see, I think my dad was in the hospital and I was having to stay over there with him. And when I come back, he said we're going to have to defrost it, and it was really bad that time. But after we did that, but he also had to take a little hose down in there and unclog the drain. But he said he did that the other day. Yeah, they don't make them to last anymore. That's the reason why I like this one and I want to keep it. My ex-mother-in-law said yesterday, she said, why don't you make him get you a new one? Yeah, it's older than me and him both, so. But I said, I don't want no new one. I said, heck, you go to these stores and you get a drink, and they're in them freezers. They're supposed to be cold, but they ain't that cold. I said, this refrigerator, when it works properly, it'll freeze your teeth when you take a drink. So I don't want a new one. As long as I can defrost it. She said defrosting's a pain in the butt. I said no. So usually it don't get this bad, but we've just had a lot going on. Trying to get a 72 Chevy pickup, the transmission fixed, which I think we did. Then the Ford Focus is tore up, or I believe we fixed it now because we had to change the PCM sensor and the FLS sensor. So he had a guy at work order it, and me and him put it in. We watched videos. And then that didn't fix the problem. It fixed the cranking part. It cranks better. Before, you had to do it a bunch of times before it would crank. And then my dad was worried with his phone, so he wasn't listening to me when I called him before and told him what this car was doing. But I done some research, and I thought it was the instrument panel cluster. So finally I got Daddy to listen to me, and he said, yeah, that's what it is. He said, have him take it out and make sure the ends are clean, the connectors are clean, and then put it back in. So we did that Saturday, and we test drove it, and it worked good. So yesterday when we went to his dad's to take that freezer stuff, he wanted to drive that car because we had a cooler full of freezer stuff, and it was heavy. So he said, why don't we just take the Ford, because it's sitting right at the back door. I said, well, we can. That way we'll know if it's fixed or not. So we drove it, because they live like 20 minutes from here. I think it's like 20 miles. Or they did. Nobody lives there now, but it done good all the way over there. None of the lights, none of the hazard lights come on. The speedometer stayed working. The temperature hand was working. All the gauges was working. So we went to Ingles and got a big bag of ice because I had to drink hot drinks all day yesterday. And I told him, I said, my ex-mother-in-law did take me to McDonald's and got me a cold drink. So I did have that one. But so he stopped and he got a 20-pound bag of ice and put it in our big cooler. And we put our drinks and stuff in there. And there's still quite a bit of ice in there. So hopefully it'll last till tomorrow, till we can plug this up and see what's going to work, what's going to happen. But I dread going in there and finish cleaning that thing, though. I hate cleaning refrigerators. So, but at least it'll be clean, and I do have a thing of eggs in there, but eggs is okay for a couple of days without being cold. So, and we just got them, so they'll be alright till tomorrow. I did have to throw my good cheese away because I forgot to get it out yesterday. Like an idiot. Oh, that's a sideways. No wonder at it. There we go. So hopefully it'll be up and running in the morning. It'll be really, really cold. And then tomorrow I'm going to rest because I ain't done nothing but go these last few days. So I was going, we'll have to go get that freezer stuff tomorrow. I forgot about that, but that shouldn't be too hard. Because I already have it clean and I can just put it back in there. So but I'll probably go to bed early tonight. Because I've done a lot today. Yeah, they don't make nothing last today like they used to. Like the crock pots don't last long, or them little skillet things. So what we did is we got old crock pots. We went to, I had one when I moved in with him. And we went to consignment stores and found the really old crock pots. So we got 3 of those. Then I got me a percolator. So when I make mashed potatoes, I just put that water in there and percolate, get the water going because it's hot when it comes out. So I just use that to make my instant mashed potatoes, especially in the summertime when it's hot. And then we found 2 of them old skillets, and one of them broke. I don't know how it got broke, but then we had the stainless steel old one, and that's what I'm using now. Because we got one from Family Dollar, and I used it twice, and the heating element went out on it, and it wouldn't heat no more. So I'll tend to buy the old stuff. If you could come see my house, you'll know. We like old stuff. We got 2 clocks from the 1800s. We got some from 1900s. We got the old schoolhouse clocks that come out in the 1920s. And they're all the ones you have to wind up, and it's got the pendulum with it. So I got me a cuckoo clock. And we got grandfather clocks. Or we got one grandfather clock, and I got a grandmother clock. And we collect old watches. I got a Mickey Mouse watch. It's a wind-up. It was $3 and something back in the 20s. That's when it come out. And back then, that was called a dollar watch. But I got the box and everything with it. It was kind of pricey, but it's worth quite a bit. But I like it because it's part of history. So I about got 1 square done for today. I don't know if I'll get any more done, because tomorrow I'm going to start my new Halloween canvas. And then at the end of the month, I've got to kit one up for Kathy's Delights. I done forgot her name. I get tongue-tied, y'all. It's Kathy's Diamond Delights and Hauls on her Facebook page. She's doing Halloween next month, but I'm doing mine this month so I can have 2 months to do my Christmas, because I've got a lot of stuff for Christmas. So, but for this month, I thought I would do work on my Christmas stuff on Tuesdays, and I was deciding this morning. Oh, what's my new one? Hang on, let me see if I can get it without disturbing anything. It's right over here beside of me. I just have to move a little bit. There we go. Yeah, this month was the Halloween theme. And then Kathy's doing her Halloween next month. This is my new one. So it's the witch's legs and Kitty Cat, spider, and there's a spider web. So I kitted this up this morning. I ironed it so it would be flat. And then I kitted up my Christmas one last night, and I started on that this morning. So, but I'm thinking about doing my Christmas on my lives. Where did I get that one? That one came from, I don't know. It's a C word right up here. I don't know if that's the company or not. But I got this from Julie S. It was in my gift thing that she sent. I got this from Julie S. Which I need to write it up here so I don't forget. The one I just finished, which I will show It's on my Facebook group, so some of y'all probably have already seen it. It come from Tita, because she sent me a package. So, I roll my things down. And then I've got another one that's just a black cat. And that's what I'm going to do for Kathy's Halloween. And it's going to be a Christmas present for my son. So, I'm going to start it for the 1st of October. And it's going to be like I'm doing my other one now. My landscape. I'm doing it to have it done by the end of the month. So, I'm going to section it off where I've got enough and figure out how many squares I need to do a day. Which I did get my 2 squares done for today on my landscape that I'm doing for Tita. And I'm also doing it for, Granny had one a long time ago for she shed. And I wanted me a she shed. So I'm going to do that for my she shed. Now, I can start this other square. Might get a little bit done before I have to go tackle that refrigerator again. It's not really too bad, but that's just one job that I hate. I dread doing. I don't know why I don't like doing it, but I don't know. I just don't like it. I keep thinking I can be doing something else. I can't use my cover minders on this, so I'm going to have to use painter's tape. I can't use my cover minders either. Need to use a piece of tape so I can hold this section down. There we go. I think this will work. I'm going to put my... There we go. Yeah, I'll probably work on this one the rest of the day and then start on my Halloween in the morning. Because I do get up at 4:30 every morning when he goes to work. So, probably start on it and do it on my whipping chat. Alrighty. Yeah, I don't know where Tita got that Halloween. So, I think I do have another. What do you use when I clean what? Sabbath? My refrigerator? He bought some kind of de-cleanser, degreaser thing. I'm going to try it and see. I usually clean my refrigerator with soap and water, but it ain't that bad dirty. It's just, I just dread doing it. You use baking soda? Yeah, we got a box of baking soda in there, but we just leave it in there to keep stuff fresh. But I usually use soap and water. He's wanting to use that degreaser stuff. But I don't know about that because it says not to use it around food. But he's saying, well, it's in package. I said, I don't trust doing it, so I think I'm just going to tell him I used it. Because I don't trust it, so I probably just use some hot water and a little bit of dish soap. That's normally how I clean it. But I might use a little bit of that baking soda I got in there. Yeah, I think my mom used to have us clean it with baking soda. But we had to clean it. I don't know if it has a strong smell. I opened it. But a lot of that stuff he knows it bothers my sinuses, and I can't use it. So I think I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to clean it with something else. Like, I might use some of that baking soda in there. Or just use my dish detergent. I usually just use Dawn and really hot water to clean it. Because I love hot water. Like when my back's bothering me really bad, I go in there and I turn the... Yeah, I use vinegar too. But I think I'm out of vinegar. Might be some in the cabinet. Because I usually sit it on top of the refrigerator, but I think he threw it away. So, but I think I got some under the cabinet because he wanted some vinegar after he threw it out to put on his greens. And he don't use that apple cider vinegar. And I said, "You're weird." I said, "I know I put it on my greens sometimes, but I don't know. I just don't I use the apple cider vinegar on my greens. So I don't know." He is a weirdo. Ain't never known nobody to use white vinegar on their greens. Yeah, my mom used to make us clean our refrigerator out once a week when I was growing up, because I had to do all the cleaning. So that might be why I hate it. I hate cleaning up a refrigerator. Because she wouldn't make my sisters do nothing. I always had to clean everything. But she said they don't get the dishes clean because, like, we were supposed to switch off and one do dishes one night, and because there was 3 of us, but Mama got to where they wouldn't get the dishes clean, so she would make me wash them every day. I don't mind washing dishes because it's just me and him here, and we don't have a lot of dishes. So, and my mom got her, when she got this house that she lives in, she got her a dishwasher, but she don't even use it. Yeah, I'm the oldest. I'm 47. My other sister is 43. My middle sister. And then my younger sister just turned 40. And neither one of them know how to cook, because I had to keep them during the summertime and cook and clean. And so my middle sister, the one that's 43, she lives with my mom and dad with her son. And see, my mom has supper waiting on her every evening. So I told Mama, because Mama is not in good health condition. And I told her, I said, you need to stop cooking for everybody. Make her learn how to cook her own stuff. I said, because you're not always going to be around for her to cook, for you to cook for her. I said, she's going to have to know how to cook. So, I don't know. That's why on Thanksgiving, my sister that lives with him's been going to KFC and getting chicken whenever I'm not able to make the dinner. So I usually make dinner, but last few years I hadn't been able to because things has come up. So his mom and dad passing away and all that. he didn't want to really celebrate any holidays. So, and then he's been doing it where he just wants me and him to do it. Your mama. You started cooking when you was 5. I was 6. Yeah, I was 6 when I started babysitting my sisters and cooking and cleaning. So, because I had to grow up fast. Because I was born here, and before I was a year old, we moved to Florida. And then my 2 sisters was born in Florida. And then we moved to Georgia when I was getting ready to turn 10. And then Mama said she wanted to come back home to North Carolina to be with her mama. So when I was 10, we moved back up here. And I've been here ever since. But when we was living in Florida, my dad got a nail in his eye. Yeah, let's see. I'm an only child, just me. Yeah, I wish I was an only child too, but it didn't work out that way. Daddy kept wanting a boy, so he kept trying, and Mama finally told him after my last sister, she said, I ain't having no boy no more. So he made me to be the tomboy. That's the reason why I've learned so much on cars and stuff, because when he got that nail in his eye, and he about lost all his vision in that eye, he couldn't work. And Mama had to go back to work. So we had quite a hard time growing up. But he would work on he would buy push mowers, and he would take them apart, put new points and stuff in them, and new spark plugs, and make sure they was running good. And he would repaint the frame, and then he would turn around and sell them. And we done pretty good. Dang, I missed. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. I thought I missed some letters, but I started a new square. So, I had to basically grow up early. Really fast. But he almost lost all of his eyesight. He had to have eye surgery, which they said it wouldn't have been as bad as if the boss man hadn't jerked the nail out of his eye, because it was stuck right there in the pupil of your eye where the color is. And it was sticking out of his eye, and Daddy told him to pull it out, which he shouldn't have done, but he pulled it out. So all of his color ran out of that eye. You can look at him and tell that something happened, because one eye is a darker color than the other. But at least he still got both eyes. That amazed me. And he had to have glasses. For a whole year, he had to wear an eye patch on his eye, because he couldn't let no sunlight in. And we had to put eye drops in it. And so he had to start wearing glasses after that. And then on that eye, he had like a big cataract, and then a little cataract growing on top of it. And they called it the mother and the baby cataract. Then he had one on the other eye. So they took the cataracts off, and he says he can see really good now. So I'm glad that he can. He don't even wear his glasses most of the time. Oh, he did get a nail in his eye. He was a carpenter, and he had one of them old East Wing hammers. They're really heavy. And he was up there nailing, and I guess he let go of the nail, and it ricocheted, and it come back, and it flipped, and it stuck in his eye. So it did get in his eye. So I think is Sabbath your mother? I think so. I think I learned that from Granny. Yeah, he did get that nail in his eye, but the boss man pulled it out, and that was a rough time. Because that surgeon said he wasn't sure if he could save his eye or not, but he did a good job because he did save it. So, yeah, he was a carpenter too. And I learned how to do that. I can build just about anything. Yeah, that doctor thought he would lose his eye. He said, I'm going to do the surgery, but he said, I don't know if he will retain his eye. He said, we might have to just take the eyeball out and do an implant. But he saved his eye. I mean, he lost a majority of his eyesight, but he could still see out of it a little bit. So that was a miracle from God. So that's what I was telling my son. He thought he had a hard life. I said, you ain't seen nothing like I have. I said, when your papa got that nail in his eye, I said, your Mimi, that's what he calls her is Mimi. I said, she had to go to work, and she didn't make but $2 and something packing tomatoes. That was the only place she could get a job. They wouldn't give her food stamps or nothing. Said to run my daddy off, and they would give her food stamps. So there was times we would have to get out and pick up cans and bottles and turn them in to have money to buy groceries or gas or something. So I said, yeah, you had it rough, but not as rough as I had to. I said, there was times when we didn't have food. So he's never went without food. He may not have got what he wanted, but he had what he needed. So God always provided that. Yeah, my son's birthday's tomorrow. And he will be 26. And Timmy bought this house, 26 years ago, August the 17th of 99, the same year my son was born. So that's how I know how long he's been here, is because he bought it a month before my son was born. So he's had that refrigerator the whole time he's been here for 26 years. So yeah, that's what we're trying to tell his daddy and my mom and daddy. They got them that's got the ice makers in them. And Mom and Daddy's done had 2 refrigerators, and they had 2 refrigerators before they passed, his mom and dad. I said, see, they don't last long. Because I don't know, people like to have new stuff, but to me, if it's working, don't fix it. So I'd rather just have this one, because I know I can rely on it. And I'm pretty sure it will work, because it did it the last time. So I'm not too worried about it not working, because it's probably been 5 or 6 years since we defrosted it real good. So he told me yesterday, he said, write down the date and we'll do it a year from now. I said, all right, I want to write the date down. I said, so when I tell you, you better do it. Because usually if we don't let it get too bad, all we got to do is just unplug it and open the refrigerator part, and it's fine. But this time it got both of them, so. But I'll just be glad to get it cleaned when I get off of here, and hopefully I can get it cleaned before he gets here so I can have some more diamond painting time. Because he's wanting to turn it around, and that thing's heavy. He's wanting to turn around and take the vacuum cleaner and get the dust off the coils back there, but I look, they ain't none. So I know I ain't pulling on it because I will have me a bad back come tomorrow. So he said, well, I'm going to do it myself. I said, how in the world are you going to move that refrigerator? He said, I had to do it when you wasn't here. So, well, okay, whatever. What is everybody working on today? I know I showed what I was working on, but I didn't ask y'all. I forget to ask people. Yeah, I go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12:30 Eastern Time. So, and then Monday and Wednesday, I do whipping gabs. And then on Fridays, I do like the show and tell and read a devotional. So, I did get my other diamond painting done from Tita, so I will show it on Friday. And I did get them leaves done for Granny's retreat, and I will show them on Friday. And I think that's all I've got done this time. And I might show the progress on my landscape. So, starting to get up into the little pink house a little bit more. Boy, there are a lot of twos on this part. Yeah, I believe this is the one Granny was talking about, that she was on the fence about getting. Skeleton with purple and pink flowers. Huggable from Diamond Art Club. I ain't never done no Randall Spangler. Matter of fact, I've only got one Diamond Art Club, and I got that from Tita, and I ain't done it yet. I think it's a gnome. So I haven't done a Diamond Art Club or none of the them other ones that people talk about. I've only done like the from Temu and Hobby Lobby and Walmart. Oh, it's stuck on there. I didn't see it. Yeah, I don't know when I'll get to start that gnome one, but I'm wanting to start it. But I also got to start one from Granny. It's going to be a Christmas present with sunflowers on it. I think it come from Art Dot. Which I ain't never done one from Art Dot either. I did finish the one for Granny, the landscape that was all crystals. Yes. Hi, Tita. You snuck in on me. I was just talking about you and that Diamond Art Club you sent me. And been talking about my refrigerator. I gotta clean it out when I get off this live. Because it froze up and it's not self-defrosting. So, yeah, when it's like hot outside, like this 100-degree weather, I'd stick my face in there and just stand there with my face in there because it was really cold. Because our air conditioner does work, but it was just so hot. It was like 110 some days with the heat index. So we turn on our air and turn our ceiling fan on, and that worked kind of good. Are you working, Tita? I believe that's the first time Tita's coming live. Oh, you're just on a break? Yeah, I think this is the first live you come to, Tita. Granny's been to a couple. I'm working on this one right now, Tita, if you're still here. It's that Nutcracker. I think that's the one Granny said she was on the fence about getting. So, later on in the afternoon. Yeah, I wish I could do them later in the afternoon, but Timmy does not be quiet, and I can't record a video while he's here because he makes too much racket. He said, I don't know what the racket, why I can't make no racket. I said, because I get dinged on YouTube. So, I can't get him to understand it, and I have to wait till my son gets his stuff out of his, finish getting his stuff out of his room. So, that's going to be my craft room. And it's got 2 doors on it, so I can shut the door. Hey, Denise, how are you? Then I'm going to make me a craft room. So, then I can do later lives. If I can get him not to bust in there, that is. Because, like, if I go out on the porch, sometimes I like to go out on the porch. You're at your daughter's? Is she doing all right? I think she's getting ready to have a baby in October. I hope that's the one. I got 2 Denises, and I kind of get them confused. Now, there's usually 2 Denises that comment. I get them confused, so. But I think that's the one. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't. My son's so busy, I don't hardly get to see him. But his birthday is tomorrow, and I always take him out to eat. But he said he's going to be busy on his birthday, so I guess we'll have to wait and do it this evening. Or not this evening, but this weekend. And he said, well, I really don't want y'all doing nothing. I said, yeah, but we always take you out to eat. Because I gave him birthday parties till he was 16, and then I quit. Because I told him he's getting too old to have birthday parties. So, but he'll be 26 tomorrow. He was supposed to be a Halloween. Well, he was supposed to be born on the 30th of October. But I had him really early, so he was a preemie. and he had to come home on one of them apnea monitor things where they put electrodes around you and wrap this thing around you, and he was on a little box thing. Because it would alert us, like if we was sleeping at night, and if he quit breathing, it would alert us to get up and check on him. So, but you can't tell it now that he was anything was ever wrong with him, which I thank God for that. But they said he could develop a breathing problem again. Bye, Tita. Have a good day. I'm glad you stopped by. Yeah, they said he could get that breathing problem again, but I used to wake up in the middle of the night and go in there and make sure he was breathing. So that's why I'm kind of afraid of him living by himself, but I guess he's okay. Because he has to go to the doctor and be checked ever so often for it and have sleeping tests done to make sure it's not coming back. Bye, Denise. Have a good day, and I hope your daughter's doctor's visit goes well. It did. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. When he lived here, I would get up when I got up to go to the bathroom, or if I got a feeling, I'd go in there and make sure he was still breathing. But he does go to the doctor, and they do check him, because that can lead, they said it can turn into sleep apnea and come back. So he does have them sleep apnea tests done, and they're saying he's okay right now. So that's why I'm afraid him living by himself, because him and his girlfriend broke up. She cheated on him, so he's by himself again. And see, he moved in with my ex-mother-in-law. I think he was a junior in high school, because his papa, or step papa on his dad's side, he passed away, and she didn't want to stay by herself. So she asked me if he could move in, which I knew was coming, because I told my son, I said, yeah, I know, and he was good to her. I mean, he was really good to her. But see, my son's dad cheated on me, so TJ, that's my son, he knows what it's like, and that's the reason why he said, I'll never do that. He said, because it hurts people. I said, yep, it sure does. I said, like I told your daddy, I said, he should have been a man, come to me and say, hey, I don't think your father cheated on your mother. But I would have been okay with it if he would have. Yeah, me and his dad's divorced, so. But if he would have been a man and come and talked to me face to face and not cheated on me, I wouldn't have got half as mad as I got. But he couldn't be a man about it. He just denied doing it, which I know he did do it because I got proof. So, we split up, and then I took him back for my son, and he just kept doing it, so I just said, I'm not doing it anymore, I'm done. So, me and Timmy started out as friends. We worked together, and I was telling him what was going on and stuff, and he said, I've got an extra bedroom, you and TJ can come and live with me. So, because at the time I was hurting for money, because his daddy, he ruined my credit. I couldn't get nothing. So I moved in here with him, and me and my son slept in his room for probably a year. And then he got to talking. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what I told his daddy. I said, if you're not happy, if you don't think we're working out, why didn't you come to me and tell me and be a man about it? And he said, well, I didn't do nothing. But his mama knew that he did. His mama's the one that told me. And she told him to stop it, but he wouldn't stop it. So, like I said, I lived here with Timmy for a year, and then we started talking, and he wanted to start dating. I said, well, I'll give it a try. And me and him get along most of the time pretty good. There's some days we don't, but there ain't nobody ever gets along all the time. So, but at least he doesn't cheat. So, and he buys me stuff all the time when he can. So, like a couple weekends ago, he's bought me 3 diamond paintings from Walmart. Then he got me some yarn the other day when we went to the flea market, which I showed yesterday on my video. So he does support my crafts and stuff. So I can't ask for nothing any better than that. And he does keep a roof over my head because I can't work. So, I mean, he's good to me. So, which ones did I done them on a video, but I can't remember. Let me see. I got the red, white, and blue, the birdhouses. And he picked out a hummingbird. He likes hummingbirds. And then, let's see, what was that other one? Oh, the other one was a Snoopy one. Yeah, I did a video on it. Actually, he got me one, and then, yeah, he got me the birdhouse one weekend, and I made a video, and then when we went to Boone to eat, he wanted to go to that Walmart, and he told me to go pick me out a couple of diamond paintings. So, and that one has a lot more than mine does. Well, that's no problem, Levi. I mean, there's a lot of people to watch on here, so I understand. But, there's a lot. I have a lot of subscribers. I don't get to all of them all the time, so I know what you're talking about. There's, y'all don't have no channel, do you? I know I try to keep caught up on Tita's and Granny's and Kathy's and Diamond Grandma. And there's some more. Hey, Connie, you finally made it. Might stay a little bit longer than an hour. You couldn't imagine having a channel? Yeah, the one in Granite and Lenore, they didn't have any diamond paintings before, but they got that campfire one that Tita did. It just come in the other day, and I'm wanting it. So I might try to con him into going back to Boone Walmart. I don't know if he will or not. So, but I know he said he's wanting to take me to, I didn't know they had a Hobby Lobby up there. So he said we was going to make another trip and we was going to go to Hobby Lobby. Because it was a Sunday that we went up there to eat, and he said, there's a Hobby Lobby. He said, after we eat, I'll take you. And I said, no, you won't. He said, well, why won't I? I said, because it's not open today. He just started laughing at me. He said, well, I'll bring you back up here And we'll go to that one. I said good because there's that one diamond painting I'm wanting. But I don't know if I'll get it or not. It's that big Santa Claus from Hobby Lobby. Mine didn't have nothing. They actually took down everything. The only thing that